Hey, it has been a hot minute. I apologize, been busy with all kinds of this work going on in life. But today we are going to talk about the three things that you need to know before you relocate or move to Columbia, or really Central Missouri in general, but particularly Columbia, Missouri. Here are three important things that you definitely want to know before you make that official move. But before we jump right into that, once again, I'm a real estate agent here in Columbia, Missouri. I've been born and raised here my whole life. Love to help people, folks, especially relocate here or move here from other places. People don't know the area quite as well. Always looking to help people buy and sell here in Columbia. But without further ado, let's jump into those three things that you want to know. All right, now the first thing, and yes, this is one of the things I bring up all the time, but this is a college town. Mizzou, the University of Mizzou, is centered right here in the middle of Columbia, and it is by far the most notable thing about Columbia from outside places, and brings in a lot of traffic from other states, other places in Missouri that otherwise would not be there at all. And this is definitely the thing that probably stands out about Columbia, even against like St. Louis or Kansas City. Of course, they have their own universities up there, but Mizzou is by far the most renowned in Missouri compared to all the other universities and colleges. So the pro side of this is you got a great college. If you have kids that are going to college, or maybe you just like the college town environment with the things that brings along with it, more touristy type sites, more shows, more events, all the different things that can come with a college town. But more on the con side, and again, this is just something you should know if you have not lived in a university town before, university city, and that is the busyness and the college kids, especially in certain areas. So if you're going to be downtown near the MU hospitals, near the sororities, fraternities, near the college campuses, or on roads that run along those areas like Stadium Boulevard, it is going to be very busy, and just be prepared for longer traffic times, longer waiting lines, busy coffee shops, everything you can think of when you think of university town, that is what you're going to get, and especially downtown in very central Columbia. Now, number two, I want to comment on this very quickly because it's something that hits the news more and more, especially regarding to St. Louis and Kansas City, but Columbia as well, and that is the issue of homelessness, things like that. Now, I'm not going to go into this too much, but I really just want to say that despite some voices you might see online if you're researching Columbia, it's not that bad. Yes, it is an issue. Yes, it's an issue that needs to be addressed properly, and in some areas it gets a little worse at certain times, certainly. Especially in the more very central Columbia, things have gotten worse to an extent, but it's not that bad, and you should not be worried about it. I want to say right now that walking downtown in most areas, you're not going to be like harassed everywhere by any sort of things like that. So it is not that bad. Don't let the negative voices online trick you into thinking Columbia is some, just disaster. And especially compared to St. Louis or Kansas City, maybe places you're moving from or places you've also considered, it's not even comparable. We are still worlds better than those two places for the most part. I mean, there's better parts than in those cities. Even those cities have worse and better parts. But in general, we are still a way step above them. And that feeds me right into the third thing that you need to know about Columbia, and that is the location / kind of how it compares to these other big cities in Missouri. So in St. Louis and Kansas City, obviously, you're going to have a lot more options and opportunities, job opportunities possibly, a lot more shopping opportunities and things like that, compared to almost every city in Missouri, because they are just the big cities, the notable cities in Missouri. However, Columbia specifically is actually prime for its location and what it does provide based on a kind of per capita situation. And what I mean by that is based on how many people we have, which is about, I think, 130,000 population, which is, significantly less than St. Louis and Kansas City. But with that amount of population, the amount of amenities, options we have, downtown options, eating options, shopping options, all these different things is very significant based on the amount of people we have, and completely blows all the other towns and cities near us out of the water. Now, yes, this does go back to it being a college town, which has really helped it boomed and gathered a lot more of the amenities and shopping options that a lot of towns probably aren't going to get. Even towns like Springfield, which is another very notable big city in Missouri. But in addition to that, Columbia's location is actually prime for getting pretty much everywhere else in Missouri. Like Branson, we're only 3 hours from Branson. It's a straight shot down. We are also 63 and I-70 just run straight through Columbia to the big roads that are going to get you to pretty much anywhere else in Missouri or even out of state. We are about 2 hours from both Kansas City and St. Louis. Kansas City and St. Louis are about 2 hours in both directions from those cities. So we can easily access almost everything. We also have the Lake of the Ozarks, which is only about an hour and a half south of Columbia, a luxury location for most people in Missouri. So if you're wanting to go hit the lake or just have some fun free time, again, about an hour and a half straight shot down there. And we are about 30 minutes from the capital, Jeff City. So if you're needing to visit the capital for whatever reason, that's definitely a good place to visit. Which, by the way, I've been seeing this on Facebook recently. If you are a big food competition eater, go check out Jeff City. They've been having this like pizza eating contest where if you can eat this whole giant pizza, you get to get it for free and even win a money prize pool. So definitely go check that out too if you want to go visit Jeff City. Now, having said all that, you should be aware if you are moving from a city like St. Louis or Chicago or Nashville or whatever it may be, if you're or a big California city, if you're moving from one of these places, do be aware that Columbia is not going to be like that. We are not in the hundreds and hundreds of thousands population, and thus we're going to have much less options, whether it be public transportation or even clothing shopping options, things like that. Columbia is known for not having a large selection of clothes shopping, and a lot of people either order online, obviously nowadays, or go to bigger cities if they want to do some more, innovative shopping, I guess you could say. So yes, it lacks in some areas, but based again on its population, you're going to have a lot more options than most other cities based on this amount of population and this, less, like you can go to a big city and you're going to have all the density problems and population problems and just people everywhere problems. You're going to have a lot less than that in Columbia. Even though Mizzou is here, you're still going to have a lot less of that in Columbia, but still have a lot of options. So those are 3 things I just wanted folks to know if you're moving to Columbia. You might have heard about these things, again, the locational things and what exactly Columbia provides. So just be prepared for that. But also don't be scared away by some voices online saying Columbia is just descending in chaos and madness with homelessness or whatever other problems. It's not. We have our issues. Certain areas are worse. You can ask me about it. Comment below if you have questions about things like that. In general, it's not that bad. I'm in Columbia 10 hours a day. It's really not that bad. I rarely have problems. Again, driving around, yes. As someone who drives around a lot, you'll see probably the worst of Columbia more often. But in general, especially the farther you get from very central Columbia, the better and better it gets. And then Mizzou, just be prepared again. That is a college town. Pros, cons of that. But be prepared for those things if you are looking to move to Columbia, Missouri. And again, if you are looking to move here, please reach out to me. I would love to help relocate you guys, find that home, deal with all the learning about Columbia and where to go where and where not to go and all those things. So feel free to reach out to me, shoot me a text, show up out of nowhere. I would always love to be of assistance. But until next time, folks, y'all have a good one.